Unity's CEO John Riccitiello just resigned. In the past week, Unity was under heavy criticism and hate from the gaming and development community. A lot of anger and frustration spread across social media platforms, and a lot of Unity game devs stepped away from the platform and transferred and ported their project to different game engines like Godot and Unreal Engine. All of these frustrations and hate stemmed from the decision where Unity will be charging fees per install for every game that was made by Unity. But mostly, all of these hate are focused on Unity's CEO John Riccitiello, which by the way was the former CEO of EA Games, which at some point led to a lot of controversies with EA when he was running it. He has statements before saying that when you're 6 hours into playing Battlefield and you run out of ammo in your clip and we ask you for $1 to reload, you're really not very price sensitive at that point in time. The consumer gets engaged in a property, they might spend 10, 20, 30, 50 hours on the game, and then when they are deep into the game, they're well invested in it. We're not gouging, but we're charging, and at that point in time, the commitment can be pretty high. But it is a great model, and I think it represents a substantial better future for the industry. That's one of his statements regarding microtransactions in Battlefield. Imagine charging fees per reload. Sounds like the pricing plan for Unity when you're charged per install. He also told developers idiots for not focusing on microtransactions. So basically, there are a lot of shady and greedy ideas that are somewhat not ethical coming out from this CEO. Finally, with all the heat from the internet against him, plus the revolt of a lot of angry Unity developers pushing the idea of not using their ad service, not to mention the death threats happening in their office itself, plus the huge exodus of Unity game developers moving and porting their projects to different game engines. He finally resigned, and this is his statement. It's been a privilege to lead Unity for nearly a decade and serve our employees, customers, developers, and partners, all of whom have been instrumental to the company's growth. I look forward to supporting Unity through this transition and following the company's future success. So, what are my thoughts on this? Publicly owned companies are not really decided by the CEO. The CEO, just like John, just executes what the board of directors have decided on. Maybe John Riccitiello did a part of it, but most likely there are still a lot of bad decision makers that is still part of the board of directors. There's one Reddit post here that we might find interesting. Let's read and dissect this Reddit post. I know people don't want to hear this. You shouldn't be blaming John Riccitiello. Yes, John is undoubtedly an asshole, and they don't let you be CEO unless you're one. But he also has been the CEO of Unity since 2014 and oversaw its progress from that engine that lets you port your gaming to anything, to the platform that every single mobile game is made on, and the backbone of the indie developer market. The main reason why so many of you are only hearing about him being CEO now is because he had been doing a relatively good job. What changed? In Unity 2020, Unity went public and a bunch of shitheads bought their way into Unity's board of directors. Ultimately, the CEO works for the board. So when these new bosses tell him to do something self-destructive, he does it. Here are the names you should be talking about instead of John. Tamer Bar-Zev, Ryolf Botha, Egon Durban. Remember Iron Source, the dogshit monetization company that absolutely everyone in the industry dumped and was circling the drain until Unity bought them for $4.4 billion. Tamer Bar-Zev is the founder of Iron Source, and following the merger, he became Unity's third president, along with John and Mark. Yes, this is the asshole who sold package of malware under the guise of monetization software and ultimately is the root cause of the install tax. Given Iron Source's history of malware, I feel that it's safe to say that Unity's runtime will likely start getting flagged by antivirus programs that casually request admin rights during installation. How Unity got affected with Iron Source is that Square Capital and Silver Lake pledged to invest $1 billion to Unity if the deal went through. Frankly, the math doesn't add up for Unity to trade $4.4 billion to buy a plague blanket of a company, only to receive $1 billion in return. Especially when a rival mobile monetization company offered to pay Unity $17 billion if they called off Iron Source deal and merged with them instead. Unless that $1 billion was for the sake of CSIT bonuses, in which case all of these mistakes make perfect sense. So basically, one of the board directors is one of the founder of Iron Source, who has a lot of shady practices before with their ad service software, where they package malware with their services. And currently, Iron Source is the provider for the ad services Unity is running. But who the hell is Roloff Burtha and Egon Durban? And why are they important names? Roloff is the director of Sequoia, Egon is the founder of Silver Lake, and both of them have ties back to Elon Musk, which is pretty obvious for how fast Unity has caught on fire. If Egon's name is familiar, it's because he was on Twitter's board and was the one who pushed to have them accept the deal, and then got thrown off the board when they realized that he was just spying for Elon during the resulting lawsuit. He also was the one who helped Elon with his fake taking Tesla private scam. Roloff was the CFO of PayPal before it got acquired, and has a long history of being involved with mergers that result in a lot of money for some, but absolute shit deals for end users and employees. Looping back to the top, I think John is done with Unity, but not in a yay as consumers have protested hard enough to get him fired kind of way the internet wants. I think he was done in 2020 when he went from being the guy actually running the company to the guy who answers to a room full of investment fuckheads. Of all 13 board members, 11 are investing managers. And then it gets to take the blame for their shit decisions. I feel like the reason why he sold his stock is because he knew this was a shit idea that was going to tank the company, but these assholes wouldn't listen. So he cashed out his stock and will be announcing his retirement at the start of Q4. Don't be shocked when Tomer Barzev gets named as his replacement. Maybe they can merge with Zynga next. So yeah, just like what I've said, the board of directors clearly has a big part on the decision making Unity made, and John Riccitiello is just part of it. And frankly speaking, I think that John Riccitiello is just a scapegoat for Unity to earn the developers' trust once again. And most likely, in Unity's case, the board of directors are a bunch of money-grabbing, greedy corporates. Most of the decisions will most likely be for the benefit of the investors. Not all public companies are bad though. There are some who sincerely looks after the company and truly care for it. As for Unity, I don't see that in them, and I still don't trust them. Trust is earned, and once broken, it will be hard to mend. I'm still hoping though that Unity will fix this trust issue with the community. Unity is the one good game engine, and the community surrounding it is great. Currently, I will still be working with Unity for my current game wisplight, but in my next game onwards, I will surely learn and use other game engines. As of the moment, I'm currently juggling my development with wisplight in Unity, at the same time learning and watching YouTube tutorials for Unreal Engine. So what do you guys think of this news? Is John Riccitiello just a blood sacrifice to earn back the trust and fix the community's trust issues? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Till next time.